I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, it's 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, to turn to a ghost, I need to know everything. Now you be surprised at the info you get is by letting them talk, so I'm letting them talk. Gotta keep quiet, maneuver in silence to let them in, chalk up their body, another one body, that's just how it go. I got some secrets, I'm shaking the game so they stay on their toes. Stay in your lane, how to stay on the go. I came to play with the pros and act like a rookie, so they overlook me. Then I double up again, none of their knows, none of them cold. They just got lucky but never adapted, so I'm to the one if it's coming to blows. My enemies cutting it close, I let them think that they got me, but what do you know? I had them beat before we ever spoke.
Hello. Come on there. How are you? How are you, Hector? You're still muted there.
Muted. Yes, I was saying hello, muted.
Yes, I was muted as well. So we'll get this show on the road and get it going here. Yeah.
Wow.
So welcome to Startup on the Blocks.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the invite.
Yeah, we're glad to have you, and I really appreciate you taking the time to come and share some stuff about Coda, and so we can kind of learn and leverage it to help run our startups and create applications.
For sure. I'm always excited about talking about Coda and startups and makers.
Fantastic. Okay, so we'll first I'll what I'll do is I'll thank our sponsors here. We have several sponsors that help make Startup on the Blocks happen. Our weekly event here, and Florida Power and Light. They're sponsored our training program. We use the Lean Stack training program to train our founders, so we're excited about them. Innisfree Hotel and the First Bank. They actually help us out with our pitch competitions. We've had 4 pitch competitions over the past couple of years, and so they've been putting up the money for that, and so incentivizing our founders to kind of learn how to pitch there. And so we have a streaming partner, Bantucola, and so they help us get this broadcast out to a lot of different platforms like LinkedIn, YouTube, and all those different things. Our local chambers, Pensacola Chamber and the Gulf Coast Minority Chamber, they've been here with us from the start and giving out free memberships to our pitch winners. And CoLab and the Small Business Development Center, they've been supporting us since we started too. And that little icon, that little light bulb icon in the middle there, that's the Boss Startup Science. Have you ever heard of them?
I have not.
Yeah, so it's a new. I guess they're new startups, but the interesting thing about them, the founders of that, they've had went through 14 exits.
Wow. Wow.
And so they created training programs to train founders how to prepare to get funding and stuff like that. And so we partnered with them, and they have like a 2-week pre-accelerator program to kind of get you ready. So that's a really neat thing we have going there. So we're glad to have them on as partners.
Amazing.
And so, yeah. So Hector, I'll give you just give like a little short introduction, and then we'll say a little bit more about Startup on the Blocks, and then we'll let you do a more thorough introduction after that.
Sounds good.
Go ahead.
My name is Hector. I'm a solutions architect at Coda, working mainly on the partnerships team. I mainly lead our Maker Fund. The Maker Fund is a fund within Coda where we support and we help makers build businesses on Coda, whether people are building templates or Coda docs or just solutions in Coda. We fund them with a grant, and then we support them launching their companies. Previous to Coda, I was a Coda customer myself, and a maker and a entrepreneur on finances. My background is in finances. I started a few companies, and then I started using Coda, became a customer, became a power user, and then got the opportunity to join the company. Super excited to be here.
Yes, you said a lot there, and I'm going to come back and unpack a little bit of that because you said some stuff I hadn't even heard about before. So we definitely want to learn a little bit more about that, and so we're definitely glad to have you here. Yeah. So what for the any new folks and for you, Hector, just kind of want to give you a little bit better idea about what we're what we're trying to do. We're trying to get founders, in the right mindset to be able to learn the skills and best practices so they can take advantage of some of the opportunities in the ecosystem. Now, you all have a startup program, and I don't know how hard it is to become a part of that or whatever, but there's accelerator programs out there, there's pitch competitions, but you kind of have to learn those best practices and develop those skills so you can kind of, when you apply for those things, you can articulate what you're doing in a really good manner. And so we try to get in that inside layer where we help you with the skills and best practices so you can actually have a better chance of getting some opportunities that are out in the ecosystem. So that's a simpler way to do it. And so this is our training roadmap. And so you're familiar with the Lean Stack stuff, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we use our Ashes platform to train our founders. And so we try to help the founders no matter where they are on this journey. And but we also like to recruit people with just ideas to kind of get them started and teach them the best practice. I think for me, I like people who haven't started, don't have an MVP and haven't started, so we can help them design a business model to make sure they're actually on the right track and have something that's desirable, feasible, and viable, before they start spending a lot of money. So that's kind of where we fit in, but we help folks all along this journey here.
Okay.
And so before Lean Stack, we didn't have a method or whatever for we didn't have our own training, so we just kind of created our own little playbook here just to kind of point people to resources to use. And I think one of the best things, what I'm really excited about, I was telling you earlier about this startup science.io is the boss thing. So we partner with them as an institutional partner, and so you can use this code to take their free 2-week accelerator, and it's a really impactful experience to kind of go through that. But this is just kind of some guidelines a founder can use to kind of get on track and get started. So, are you familiar with that F6S site?
I have not. No, I think I've heard of it, but no.
Yeah. So, like the reason why we have that on there is that site has probably got more founders on it than any other site out there. And so a lot of the accelerator programs and pitch competitions, they use that site to host their applications for their programs.
Hmm.
And they don't actually charge anything to host the applications on there. So we host our applications for our programs on there as well. But so there's two things you have to do once you get on the site. You build up your personal profile and your startup idea, profile. And then after you get your profile built up, and just like you all startup program, there is a lot of other startup programs on there, and so like if your profile is built up, you can request, some of those benefits, like I think the number one benefit on there is like Amazon has a $25,000 hosting credits, and you have 2 years to use them, and then they also give you 5,000 for support to help you kind of build whatever you're trying to build. IBM has stuff on there, so it's a really nice thing for founders where you can actually, if you don't have a lot of money and if you're bootstrapping, that's just a way to get some in-kind services to kind of help you move along.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what the idea for that is.
Nice.
And so this is just the same thing as that target thing I was showing you a little bit ago. you have the person over here, and then we have all these programs to kind of get people ready for these things on the right over here, and it's really that that's kind of straightforward. And so we a lot of our internal programs that you see here in the middle, we target founders of color, but we let other people in as well, and our newsletters that we do are for everybody, and with all the opportunities.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have a cohort going on right now in our Founders of Color launch program, and so one of the things, Hector, I wanted to make sure some of these founders are aware of CODA and how they can leverage that to help run and manage their startup activities.
Mhm.
So
Okay. Awesome.
yeah. So that's kind of what the deal is there. And so these are some of our mentors and stuff. So the founder, this program is for the people they've already got their business model designed, and now they're going through this phase where they do this demand generation and this validation framework, and so they're doing some sprints and stuff to kind of make sure they got the problem discovery down pretty well, and then they'll start designing the solution like that.
Do you focus in any specific industry or niche?
No. And so what we try to do is we try to see what I found here in Northwest Florida, that there is not people are not really familiar with the startup ecosystem and all the opportunities they're in, and so what we just try to do is just try to get them in and make them aware of the best practices, and no matter what they're, because we have people like in the marketing industry, food industry, entertainment industry, I don't know what you call it, NFT type industry, but yeah, so all the different ones, but we just want to kind of make sure people are introduced, and then we can refer them to these programs where they can actually get funding to kind of
Okay.
keep moving along. Yeah.
Yep. Makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. Because it's to me, with all the opportunities out there, I just think it's we need to make people aware of them, and that they can get help to kind of. And great example is your startup program, for program for founders. It and people will be surprised that companies like yours will have a program. If they're working on something that's scalable, they can take advantage of this stuff like this. So that's kind of what the idea is. But anyway, I'll just briefly. So this Founders of Color, this validation playbook thing, it basically includes these 6 sprints workshops here in blue, and then just going through this process over like a 90-day period. It's pretty straightforward, pretty simple, but it's definitely a great opportunity to kind of get people on the right track and make sure they're kind of doing the right thing. But yeah, so I just want to give people a little familiarity with what we're doing here. So what do you think?
Super useful. I think it's pretty aligned with part of the stages and the tools you need in early stages as a company. Because when you're starting, you probably want to have certain flexibility. You don't want to stick to one tool. You don't want to stick to one way of doing things. You want to be flexible and maybe focus on sales or your value proposition, something else. But when you are scaling and growing, you also want to set up the certain tools, free tools, and resources to grow your team with that, instead of having to pay for one tool, and then when you grow, pay for the next one, and then keep growing. It becomes a bunch of tools, and it's pretty expensive. So actually, one of the few examples I have are for solopreneurs, like one people team, and the other ones are for teams, just creating something, building something together.
Gotcha. Yeah. So like you talked a little bit on your short introduction. So, but just kind of back up a little bit and kind of, when you started your career, or even before you started your career, what kind of led you to where you are now?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would say curiosity.
Okay.
Generally speaking, I think a great recipe for getting somewhere where you're happy is following your curiosity.
Yes.
Whenever I have a background in finances and accounting,
Gotcha.
I'm into tech and partnerships and marketing right now, which is nothing related to finance. But
Hmm.
um, I've always felt like I had a lot of curiosity and I wanted to learn different topics, different sectors, and just like kind of left my curiosity lead me. That's my
Hmm.
general approach into life, I guess, and
Okay. Okay.
startups and all of that. Along the path, I tried to start a few companies. Most of them failed, but I learned a lot
Yes. Hmm.
from those failures. I ended up uh, advising a few companies with their finances, and most of them had pretty messy finances and pretty messy spreadsheets.
Wow.
And the way they operated was very complicated. They
Uh-huh.
overspent a lot of time just on processes, automations, manual work, uh,
Hmm.
finding the data in different places. And that's how I found Coda as a
Okay.
place to bring your team together, as a place to bring words, data, formulas, images, links in one single place and
Okay.
make it the single source of truth. Um, and pretty much that's why I ended up being part of the team here.
Yeah. So, like in your introduction, and by the way, I guess people may not be aware you actually at Mexico City. I guess I will quickly ask. So, what's the startup world like in Mexico City?
It's growing, definitely. It's way smaller than it is in the US or in Europe.
Okay.
It's a thriving ecosystem. It's been growing lately. A lot of tech companies being started in Mexico City or moving from the US to Mexico City.
Hmm.
Because we have a lot of talent, a lot of engineers. Most people, well, not most, but a lot of people also speak English. So
Hmm.
it's yeah, it's been growing a lot, especially fintech. Also, Mexico has a lot of social issues and environmental issues. So there's a huge opportunity to build solutions for
Gotcha.
either
Gotcha.
poor people or people without housing or
Mhm.
without education. There are so many social issues that we need solutions for them.
Yeah, yeah, and by the way, everyone, if you have any questions, feel free to go ahead and post them in the chat so we can do it. So, like I posted earlier that I recommend that if the listening audience, if you don't have a Coda account, go ahead and create one. Then, if Hector shares something, you can actually copy that example and use it later. So just go to coda.io. Uh, Hector, you said something when you were introducing yourself that I wasn't aware of. You said something about maker stuff
Fun.
and funding makers, and so,
Yeah.
so you caught my curiosity there a little bit because I hadn't read that anywhere. So
Maker and funding are two very interesting words, especially for you, Lloyd. Um, yeah, so the short page is Maker Fund is a $1 million fund created by Coda to fund and support makers and small companies building products on Coda.
okay,
um, so people building templates or solutions or packs which are Coda integrations to
yes,
third-party apps like
gotcha.
code integration with QuickBooks or Slack or Gmail or
Okay,
something else. So what we did or what we do is we bring those makers into our community. We give them a grant, and then we help them succeed with office hours, access to our team, engineering office hours, pretty much anything they need to successfully build, launch, and scale a project built on Coda. Some people
hmm,
are monetizing it. Some people are building a business on Coda by selling their Coda packs or integrations, by
hmm,
selling templates, and some other people just want to share their ideas. They have something
okay,
particular, they have a specific knowledge, methodology, or something unique, and they turn it into a Coda template and share it with the world.
gotcha. Yeah, so that's pretty
Um,
fantastic.
I'm
Glad.
gonna add here in the chat the link to the
Okay.
MakerFund in case anyone wants to check it out
Okay. Good.
and
Good.
apply as well. We are taking applications.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I'm glad you shared that information. I think a lot of folks, you know, they they don't realize all these opportunities that are out there, and that they can participate in. And so I feel that's part of our mission to make sure people are uh, aware, of these things that are available to help get started. And so and so a lot of people think that you have to have a company or something to take advantage of some of these things. So I would imagine the Maker Fund, you can just be just Joe Blow and do and participate and apply to do something.
Correct. Just you and yourself. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I just hate when people count themselves out. I think that doesn't apply to them. But if you have an idea, it's best to, kind of get it, get it going there,
Also,
and
everyone has something special. Everyone has certain knowledge. Everyone has a certain audience. They are
hmm
part of certain niche. Um, they have the solution built on something else, or they have these ideas in their mind. So
hmm
it's pretty simple-ish to build all of that into a Coda doc and then just share
hmm
it out to the world or make it a business. So it's a good way to support people with great ideas, great thoughts, great knowledge, turn all of that into a public knowledge base or Coda doc, and
yeah,
then
and
support with that.
yeah, you mentioned like something like QuickBooks. So a lot of different people that work for different companies, or if you work for or you have your own company and you use a certain software and it doesn't do all the features that you need, or you want to pull some data out of it, and that sounds like something Coda could be actually used for. Like just for like example, I'd never thought about a potential Coda integration to QuickBooks. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I actually have one example open up here in my browser with Twitter as a way
Okay.
to bring data from Twitter using a Twitter pack, a Twitter integration, and
Yeah.
then you would probably think like, why would you need to bring tweets into a Coda doc? What's the use in that? Um, and yeah, later I can share my screen and share one example just because I feel it's a fun one.
Yeah. Well, mainly what I wanted to do just to I think I got one last question, and I'll let you get going with some of the examples you want to share. And so when you first found out about Coda, what was your reaction? You know, where did your curiosity lead you?
Yeah. So since I'm I was working a lot with numbers and spreadsheets and
Okay.
finance. So the whole formula language, spreadsheet kind of mindset was with me, and I like was deeply into looking into those numbers. But whenever I wanted to write something up or add images or make a presentation, I would have to open another program, maybe
Yeah.
Docs or Word or
hmm
Google Slides or something else, and then go there. And then whenever I wanted to go and run some numbers, I had to go back into my
Okay.
spreadsheet. So the first time I learned about Coda, I thought, oh, I can just do everything here. I can have databases, I can have formulas, I can have numbers, and I can have words besides those tables. And I can
hmm
actually have images, and I can embed, and I can add links, and I can invite my people over. So instead of me dividing myself into different apps and having information in different places,
Yeah.
the first thing or the first aha moment for me was, oh, I can just have everything under one place. Um, and that's, I think, what's one of the few things that really hooked me. So
hmm
it saved me a lot of time.
Gotcha, gotcha. Okay, well, yeah, that sounds, you know, that's a interesting. So Yeah, I like that. I definitely like that. All righty, well, I'll let you get started, and like I said, audience, just feel free to go ahead, ask your questions, and anytime we'll be glad. And even if it's a question that's not about Coda, just feel
Yep.
free to ask it. We'll be glad to help out.
Awesome. Let me go ahead and share my screen.
Okay.
I'm gonna go through a few examples on how different people and teams are using Coda.
Okay.
Also happy to go into a very specific use case if someone from the audience wants to talk about a specific problem they have or an idea, and then we can figure
Okay.
it out if possible in Coda as well.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Um, you should be able to see my screen now.
Okay, I'll add it up there. Yeah.
Okay, can you see it?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes. We're good.
Awesome. So this is a Coda doc, and I'm not gonna. Okay, I'm gonna explain what Coda is while doing something in Coda. A simple way to explain Coda, it's an all-in-one doc. It's an all-in-one document that brings everything together into a single document that starts with a blank canvas. Just as any doc, you start with a new page, and you can add a checklist. You can add text. You can turn this text into a header, but you can also add a table. If I go here and click table, I can add a table. This table can have different rows with names, but I can also have um, numbers. I can have different type of columns, like text, like buttons, reactions. I can tag people. This can be a checklist or dates. So I can do a lot in this document, but it all starts with a blank canvas and it can be as flexible as we want. Um, Let me show you one of the use cases of Coda. It's probably one of my favorite ones because I use it all the time. It's also a ritual, so it's a way to think about communicating ideas, and it's built in Coda. You can probably build this in different apps, but I really like the combination of these because um, a common issue or problem I have is whenever I want to share my ideas, I want very specific feedback in very specific sections. And I have very specific questions for whoever I'm writing this proposal to. So this two-way write-up helps me write down my proposal, add some context, add links, add images, embed videos, whatever I want, and then just share this with my team so that they can interact with it and they can click buttons, for example. So I can write a background of the proposal. I can write my actual proposal with everything I want, and then I can maybe ask my team for two options. Like, what do you guys think about this option number one versus option two? And just go here and click the buttons. Do you like it? Do you have doubts about it? Do you dislike this one? And if I share this with 5, 10 people, I can get a pretty good sentiment on what's the best option for them. Something else I like to do is I might share this live during a meeting, during a call with people, and I'm not usually sure when everyone is done with the write up. Are they done, and can we move forward to Q&A? So this simple "I'm done reading" button, it's super useful for me because then I can see, I don't know, if we have 10 people here and 7 people just click this button, and I can see who clicked this button. Then I can just move ahead and go and talk about the ideas or open the discussion. Um, and this is just like a reaction item or feature we have in Coda. Actually know the faces whenever someone clicks this. I can see the faces of whoever is clicking this. Something else I really like, and this is using quite a few Coda's building blocks like buttons. This is a button. If I right click here, I can customize it to do a lot of things. So I can have actions inside buttons. And this action can be different things. I can modify a row to a table. I can add a new row. I can create a copy of this doc. I can open a hyperlink to a website. I can copy to my clipboard. I can do a lot of things. I can even have custom formulas inside the button. In this case, it's pretty simple. I click the button and it's going to add a new row to my table and pop it up so that it's easier for me to see it. And I have a column type with a sentiment. So I'm just going to add how happy I am right now. And I can add my thoughts right here. Um, and this is done by Hector. So it's a people type of column. And there you go. So what I can do is I can go and ask my team directly for very specific feedback about very specific topics, and then get their sentiment with the number, get the average, see why they decided to have 5 happy faces or 1 happy face, and then see who is doing that. So pretty simple way to just get a very structured way to get feedback from my team. Um, this is just about getting sentiment. If I want to add discussion or questions, this is also a simple way to do that, also using a table. I can just add the tables, anyone can add it. And if someone likes the idea or the question, they can just upvote it or downvote it. And this is sorted. So if I have 20 questions, instead of trying to go through the 20 questions, I might as well just try to go and answer the first 5 ones that were the most upvoted ones. So this is the two-way write-up, one of my favorite rituals at Coda, and I think a great way to collaborate with your team as well.
So could you share the link to that? And that's one of the features I like about Coda is that you can
Let
actually
me
share stuff.
let's do the sharing live. It's super simple. We just go to
Okay.
share. Um, Anyone with this link will have edit access. So actually, anyone who's here is just going to be able to edit this doc as well, and you create a copy as well. I'm just going to copy the link, go back here, and paste it for all of you.
Okay, I'll grab it and paste it out there. So if you already have your Coda account, you can actually have a copy of this document.
Yeah, or you can just go here and add your sentiments as well, or click any buttons.
Yep. So that's the fantastic thing. What's one of the nice features, and that's how people get interested in it, because somebody creates a really neat document like that and share it, and all of a sudden it's used all around the world.
Yeah, exactly. Because well, I'll talk about publishing a Coda doc in a few secs. I just want to go through a few other examples which
Okay.
are just different. This is a bit more personal. It's the way I think about my to-do list, um, and my task. So
Hmm.
in this case, it says like, "Hello, Hector. This is actually a formula." Um, and this is also a formula, which is telling me how many tasks I have for today. So if I just go here and add task, it added a new row. I can add a new row right here as well. So this is going to be my task. And I can set up this to be, I want to do this today, this week, this month, and someday. And this is quite useful for me because sometimes I have way too many things in my to-do list and I don't know what's priority or not. So it's pretty simple for me and for, I guess, part of my teammates as well, to just think about what's priority for today versus I'm just going to do this someday. And whenever this is done, I can just check this and that's it. Um, I could also count these. So for example, I can write formulas in the tables, and I can also write formulas in the canvas, in the doc itself. And in this case, what I'm doing is I'm trying to write a formula to count how many tasks I have for today. So I'm referencing my table, which is my task, and added a filter. And I'm in the filter, I'm saying when the column when it's equals to today, count the number of rows that I have. So in this case, I have 4. Um, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 by Buck, then by Polly, then 2 by Hector. And I could also filter these by person and by date, for example, or by priority as well. So there's a lot you can do with formulas as well. This could be count, this could be sum as well, this could be different things. I can have a filter here as well. So I'm going to filter, you know what, only show me today. I only want to see today, or I only want to see this month. It's pretty useful to see if I should focus. Usually what I do is, okay, what's up for today? I'm just going to try to go through this list today, and that's it. Another simple one, it's kind of related, task tracker, as a simple way to understand what projects I'm working on. And each project has different tasks. So here we're using two tables, and we are relating the tables. So I can have a, a Zoom Magic Show project, which is this one, which is led by Polly. And then I can add task to that one in specific, for example.
Could you also share the to-do list thing you just did so we can have that available for folks?
Yeah, all the templates I'm showing are on
Okay.
in the same doc that I shared.
Oh, they're in the same doc also. We're good then. Okay.
So
Fantastic.
yeah, for people here, there are two ways to create a copy for yourself and customize this and use it for free. The first one is you can go here to the three dots in the top and create a copy. And this will create a copy of all the doc, including every page in here. So you'll get all of these pages. That's in case you want to just use everything. If you want to use only one template, right, in one page, you can just go for example, the two-way write-up. You can go here to the three dots as well and copy to doc. So you can copy to doc and just create a new doc only with this specific page. So two ways to do this.
Okay. Gotcha.
Um, So this is the task tracker. I can see it in a table. I can see it by project. I can also see by in the calendar view. So this is exactly the same table as I can see here. It's just a different view. So in this case, I'm looking at a calendar view. I can see that in September I have this one. I can move it and drag it. And if I go back here, it's going to be on the 8th as well. So this is going to be September 8th.
You just blew me away on that one. So that
Yeah,
was the same table. You just switched it to a calendar view.
yeah. Actually, if you look into this one, it's on the 7th, and if
Okay.
I drag this, is on, and if I go here and do it on the 5th, it's up here on the 5th. So they're
Okay.
connected views, same
Gotcha.
table, same data, different views. And I can also see that same information in a chart, in a bar chart. So I want to see how many in progress, how many complete, and this is also the view of that one. So if I change the status here, I'm going to add one more to in progress. Let's say this one is in progress. This one is also in progress. This is higher now. This is
Hmm.
5. Um, so plenty of ways to visualize your data however you want. So you don't have to stick to only one way to visualizing your data, which I feel it's pretty useful because not everyone likes tables, not everyone likes calendars. So you can customize how you see data. Um, Another one, simple one, it's to categorize and add your ideas. As entrepreneurs, I know we all like to have a database of ideas, and we often find ideas, but it's usually pretty hard to rank them and see what should I pursue, what should I work on, what should I focus on. So this is a pretty simple template, actually inspired by Arvid. He's a great founder, um, focusing on how to bootstrap a company. And the way he thinks about it is you write down your idea, you write down the audience, and then you rank the idea depending on affinity, which is how much does it matches your expectations and your lifestyle and your experience. Then the opportunity, how good is the opportunity right now? Appreciation, which means could people be giving you money for it? Could you monetize it? Is it easily sellable? And then market size, pretty much like how big is the market, how many people could be using this. And whenever you rank this, you can see it all moves. So this is just a simple formula, calculating, doing a sum of everything here. And it's sorted by biggest to smallest. So simple way to add ideas, rank them, score them, and then that's it. You can find out where to focus on. Um, and the last one I wanted to share, because this one is using a pack, meaning code integration. It's a code integration with Twitter. So here I have a table, which is a pack. If I go here to insert, I go to packs. I have a lot of packs. I can connect MailerLite, HubSpot, CoinMarketCap, Spotify, or Table, Asana, Bitly. Um, we have over 300 packs. Currency converter, Dropbox. I can do a lot. FedEx, Figma, YouTube, Gmail, um, everything. So in this case, is this one is connecting to Twitter, and it's pretty simple use case. So sometimes I'm searching Twitter, and I want to find certain keywords and just go and interact with those people with those specific keywords. In this case, I'm looking for indie hackers. So what I did is I had this search query. This could be, I don't know, build in public.
Hmm.
Let's do this live, I guess. Hopefully it works. I'm going to refresh the table. It's going to take a couple of seconds. And what it's going to do is it's going to go and search for a few keywords on Twitter. And then it's pretty much going to give me a list of the tweet with the text, the author, when it was created, the number of followers, tweets, like tweets, and that's it. What I love about this is that since it's a coda table, I can go and save all of these tweets, or at least the ones I like. So I'm just going to go through the list, like and save the tweets I like, and then I can go to today's tweet and see, okay, what's going on today. So this was only for today. This is a filtered view. So it's filtering out all the noise from other days. And I want to save a few of these. I can actually just go here and open the tweet, and it's going to lead me directly to the tweet. Same here. So I'm going to do the same for each one of the tweets. And I also have a saved tweets. So the useful of this is, instead of trying to bookmark or remind myself to go and interact with this tweet or go to retweet it or comment or like it or something, I can just save all the tweets I like. And even if I want, I can reply as well. Um, so the way this is done, it's pretty simple. It's a few buttons. It's a table. Let me save a few ones. These just got refreshed. As you can see now, we're talking about building in public. So whenever I have these tweets here, I can add my notes on, like, 1.7 million. It's awesome. Let's chat, or something about this, and I can just go open the tweet, add my reply, like it, whatever I want, and then, okay, this is replied. Cool. I can just go and move to the next one. So it's a pretty simple way to manage my tweets, depending on very specific keywords. So it's all filtered by only certain keywords on, in this case, building in public, because I wanna meet new people building in public. Um, and yeah, I think those are pretty much the examples I wanted to go through.
Yeah, that gave me a little idea. So the when I was talking to one of our founders, and I was telling him a little bit about Coda, and I said, well, you're building an application, and and um, and people are going to be using that application, but you may want to get some data out of that application, to some, and so you could have potentially use Coda for that. And so what you just showed with Twitter is a potential way that you actually could get data out of your own application, pull it directly into Coda.
Yeah, correct. And anyone can build a pack. So we created the packs ecosystem, the packs editor. It's a super simple way to build code integrations inside Coda
Hmm.
with just a little bit of knowledge of JavaScript and APIs. So actually, this pack, the Twitter pack, was not built by Coda. It was built by someone else. And a lot of people are building their own packs, their own integrations, and customizing their code however they want and bringing any type of data they want.
Yeah. So like, yeah. So yeah, I think it provides a lot of capability for a founder to kind of or an employee or whoever to kind of just leverage information and use it the way they want to. So to me, Coda is like a tool, and that actually can help you do a lot of things that you may have could not do before.
Yeah, yeah, especially because it's pretty simple to get started. You can start with something very small, with a simple table with a few words, and then as your company is growing, as your project is growing, you can start growing your doc and start bringing more people, start bringing more ideas, adding pages, adding tags, bringing your database from other parts into Coda, and start
Hmm.
collaborating so it can expand with you as well.
Okay, fantastic. So you got let's say you got a CRM thing there.
I do. I have a yeah. I forgot about this one. So this is another simple use case. I like the flexibility of these. I can pretty much build the CRM however I want. And in this case, I have companies, contacts, and interactions. And each company can have a few contacts and activities, which are interactions. So I can just go ahead and add a company, for example, my new company today, add the logo, address, status. This is a prospect. I can add notes, and that's it. I can start by just adding a company, but then I can add contacts to each one of those companies. So this is going to be Hector. This is my title. I'm going to write something. Hector at coda.io. And then I'm going to select the company. This is my new company. Um, and I can see that I have a table for companies right here. So I just created a new company, and then I have another table for contacts, which each contact has a company related to that one. And then I have interactions. So what happens if I had a new interaction with Pierre, for example? I can just here and add interaction. So the company was Blocks or someone. This topic, which was an email or whatever that happened last week, and these are my meeting notes. Just close this, and I'll see that Blocks has a new activity, which is the one I just added. I can see the status here, and it's a very simple way to keep track of all the companies, all the people or contacts related to that company, and all the interactions, email, meetings, follow-ups, everything on your single place. Of course, I could customize this and add something else. I can add here my notes, or I can, you know what, I want to add. Um, let's add the scale. Let's see how important this might be, or how relevant this might be. You know what? This is super important. This is low priority. And I can also rank these. So I can go here and prioritize the pipeline. Um, Go here and then sorted descending, for example. So this is low priority. Oh no, logo, no. We want relevance. There you go. So we have high priority at the top, low priority here. If that changes, then everything changes. Super simple way to get started and then expand as your company grows as well.
Yes, yes, and um, so so typically a a company would have to purchase a CRM system, but you're saying in Coda you can actually create your own.
Yep,
Yes.
correct.
hmm And the same with the project management and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
same. So in same with databases, same with write up. So instead of having one software for project management, one software for CRM, one software for databases, you can have all of these in one or few Coda docs as well.
Yeah. So two things here. Before I forget, I told people you're going to tell us about the Dakota Startup Program.
Yeah,
Um, yeah. So if you would
let
kind of,
me also Coda.io for startups. Let me share the link as well in the chat so that people have it. So yeah, Coda for startups. It's a perk we have. So people, companies, mainly startups, can apply for $1,000 on credits to run your startup on Coda. Um, $1,000 for small companies can pretty much be used for 2 or 3 years. So it can get you pretty far away if your team is not super large. Um,
Mhm.
because our pricing starts at $10 per maker for the paid for the pro version, and then $30 for the team version. So yeah, the Coda for Startups it's a program specifically built for early stage companies that have not raised a Series A, I believe. So seed stage and early stage companies um, using Coda, and they can apply and yeah, get $1,000 on credits in your workspace and just invite your people here.
Yeah, yeah, and Kukua Institute is a nonprofit, and you all also have a half price for nonprofit because
Right.
we could take advantage of that as well.
Yeah.
So the the one of the things that attracted me um, to Coda was you all's pricing model that
Yeah.
you use. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, our pricing model is quite unique because we do not charge per user. We only charge per maker. So our maker billing model, we call it, it's we have to start with. I'm gonna take a step back. We have three different type of personas that use a Coda dog. It can be a dog maker, which means that person has the power to build a Coda dog from scratch, to start a new Coda dog, to click new and open a new Coda dog. Then we have editors. Editors can edit and collaborate on existing Coda docs, but they cannot create them from scratch. And we have viewers. Anyone that can view the Coda doc, they can maybe comment on the doc, but they cannot make any edits. Editors will always be free. Viewers will always be free, and we only charge for doc makers. So if you have a team of 10, for example, or in this case, a team of 30 people, maybe you don't need everyone to create Coda docs. Maybe you only need 5 people to actually build the Coda doc, and then the rest of the team, the 25 rest of the team, um, can also interact and edit with the existing Coda docs. So they shouldn't pay. The 30 of them should not pay because they're not doc makers. On
hmm
our pricing model, only 5 doc makers will pay for it.
Gotcha.
So,
Yeah, so like you said something, and I think helped me understand that a little better. So like you shared the doc examples that you did today.
yeah,
So are you saying if I'm a editor or I have a free version of Coda, I can actually take those docs and actually edit them?
yeah,
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So
yeah. So
that
if I go here, I can see you are in the doc.
yeah.
You can actually go ahead and add pages and add tables and click the buttons and do anything in this doc.
hmm
And you will be an editor and you would not pay for it because the doc maker is me, not you.
Okay. Yeah. I'll just add something to it so people can actually see.
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah, so that I think I don't know if people really understand the significance of that because let's say when you do um, a a like a project management software, you probably have to pay per user, or if you get a CRM software, you have to pay per user. And you were telling me with Coda, I can do both of those things, and I can as a doc maker paying, but all my employees or collaborators, they don't have to pay.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of SaaS and softwares uh, charge per user or per seat.
Yeah.
Um, but in our case, we decided to take this approach because we are maker first approach. So we want to encourage people to interact with Coda. We know that not everyone has to be a maker. Some people can start a Coda doc, but other people just want to interact with it or want to add their thoughts, and we felt like they shouldn't pay for that because only the doc maker is the one taking the lead on creating these docs.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's pretty neat. So any comments from the people in the audience? What's your first impressions? And so yeah, feel free to put those in the chat so we can see them. But I think also, Hector, uh, don't you all have a lot of docs out there all already that people have, created that you know a coder user can actually copy?
Yeah, so we have the gallery for that. By the way, one thing we have in Coda is that sometimes we understand people like to create something like a blog post or a template or something, and they want to share it with the world, not only with their team. So if you go to share, you can decide who to share the Coda doc with. You can share it with very specific emails. You can share it with a link, just like I did. You can
Mm-hmm.
share it with a workspace. In this case, anyone with a coda.io domain can edit this access, this doc. I can embed it or I can publish it, meaning this is going to be shared in the Coda Gallery, discoverable by anyone, and this is going to show up on Google via SEO. So it's SEO optimized as well. So I can literally build a blog post with keywords and people can discover it anywhere in the internet as well. Almost like a micro website, pretty much. It's a shareable website with a
Yeah.
very
So
unique URL.
so that embedded thing. So are you saying that I could like at a let's say at a Mailchimp thing, I can potentially embed that in a Mailchimp email that I send out?
Correct. Or in a website, in a
Yeah.
landing page, and you would see something like this. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's an iframe, so you can
Yeah.
embed it anywhere.
Gotcha. Wow.
Um, so I'm just gonna go ahead and publish this one. Coda for creators. I can customize the URL in this case. I can add a category. This is gonna be personal interactions. This is gonna be, you know what, edit. Anyone who sees this can click the buttons. I'm gonna
Hmm.
go next and apply and publish. Gonna go ahead and copy the link. Go here and you can see this is the a pretty similar Coda doc. It's just cleaner, and I have all
Okay.
the sections here, including this one, and I can
Wow.
copy this doc. So I can now allow anyone to access this doc and create a copy for themselves. It's a pretty useful way to share your thoughts, your ideas, your templates as well. And this is going to be also shown in the Coda Gallery, which is a place where any maker can publish their templates. So if I go here, I have thousands of docs built by other people, a lot of categories. If I go to project management, I can go and see, okay, what Um, let's see this one, rethinking Google's famous lunch call by Shiba. And I can actually take a look at it, like, okay, so how does Google thinks about launch call? And they have these different steps. They have different pages. Um, they actually have a template I can copy. So I can just go into the gallery and find different. I'm not in the gallery anymore. There you go. Find different ideas, different templates. I can search if I go here and type something like startups. Oh, my computer froze.
No,
Let me
no
restart.
problem. Yeah. So like, but
There we go.
yeah, you're giving me a lot of ideas here. But like, so for a company, a Main Street business or startup business, they can take a tool like this and literally go to town, and save a lot of money, and move forward. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And same in the gallery. We not only have docs, we only have packs, which are these
Okay.
integrations. So you
Good.
can
Good.
browse all the integrations we have. We have Google Calendar, Shopify, Typeform, Airtable, Calendly, Figma. We have a lot. We have, yeah, over 300
Hmm.
packs right now.
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
can you go to the link where you have this Pack Studio?
Yeah, so for a pack studio, if someone wants to create a pack, I can just go here to packs, create a. This is my workspace. I have all my
Okay.
docs, all my folders, my shortcuts, um, and I can build packs. So if I go here, I can create a pack. I'm gonna start with Hello World example. If you are
Hmm.
a developer, you probably know about this better than I do. And I can just start writing some JavaScript and build my pack. I can just right here in Coda do the JavaScript, copy and paste. I can actually add sample code. Let's see. I wanna add authentication. Authentication like.
So hold up. You saying you actually have the sample code for all these different things in there? So that's what enables people to kind of get started pretty easy.
Yep. Yeah, I can pretty much, if I go here to help, you know what? I wanna fetch something or I wanna add a sync table. Okay, it's a sync table with a parameter. Yes. I have the code right here. I can copy it. Let me delete this. I can paste it. And I have these 79 lines of code with an example on how to set up a pack, make an object schema, set up a sync table. And I pretty much just have to change the URL on the
Hmm.
API I'm trying to connect with. And that's it. I can click build and publish my pack to the gallery.
Wow. Okay.
And all of these within Coda. And if I want, I can even price it. I can make it for free, or I can make it a paid pack where I can charge a monthly fee per pack um, per user. So I can go from building my pack, publishing, and selling it in the gallery, all within Coda.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I guess I'm so glad we had you on here tonight, so we could actually, because I haven't, you shown me quite a few things that I hadn't actually seen before, and I'm pretty sure there probably people who have some other ideas, but I I will definitely keep sharing this and make sure our founders that didn't show up tonight make sure they have a chance to actually see because if you're trying to run a business and you don't have all these automations to kind of save you work, you're actually it's going to be hard for you to expand and grow if you don't use something like this to kind of do your task management and your automations and stuff like that.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Totally
So,
agree.
all righty. Any last things you want to mention, or and I guess Maria, she always asks, "What's your favorite coda dog?" I guess I could ask
And
that.
she also knows that's a hard question because it's like asking for your favorite child. Um, I I have a few. One of my favorite ones is actually, where is it? It's probably this one or something similar to this one, the daily stand up.
Okay.
Um, it's a pretty simple way to do daily stand ups.
Okay.
You can add, especially if you work remotely
Hmm.
with your team or async, I can
Okay.
add my update for today. I can add my blockers. I can add any announcements for today or this week. If I need help, on how am I feeling today? Maybe I don't feel like working today, so I don't want to go into too many meetings, or I'm feeling super excited.
Hmm.
And then I can see today's summary. I can see everyone's updates, blockers, announcements, a
Hmm.
cold check. And I can then, using the Gmail pack or the Slack pack, I can Slack or email this to my team or to myself.
Okay.
So it takes me 2 minutes to go here, do my daily stand up. Once we get everyone responses, we can just email this to everyone or Slack it.
Got
Pretty simple use case, and I love it.
I like that too. Yeah, that sounds pretty fantastic. So, yes, yeah, I'm definitely excited and overwhelmed at all the kind of stuff you can kind of do for, especially for a small business that, maybe bootstrapping. This is a pretty affordable tool, and I sure appreciate your sharing the stuff. So, any parting words before we get out of here? We definitely enjoyed having you.
I would definitely encourage people to go and check out our startup program and the Maker Fund as well.
Okay.
If you have any ideas, any templates, any frameworks, any knowledge you want to share, feel
Hmm.
free to, or any pack you want to build, feel free to reach out and also apply.
Fantastic. Thanks a million. I've definitely got a lot out of tonight, and I appreciate you taking the time all the way from Mexico City, Mexico there, and yes, and I'm glad you shared the information about that. You even have some American startups actually taking advantage, coming down there and taking advantage of the opportunities down there. It's
Yeah,
always good to hear what other folks are doing all over the world there. And if
yeah.
you're ever up here in the states or whatever, give us a holler. We'd love to connect and keep the ball rolling. Keep making here.
I will for sure. Keep
All right.
enjoying the nice weather over there as well.
Yeah. All right. Thanks a lot, Hector. We
All right.
really appreciate it. We'll see everyone next week, next Thursday, and we definitely got our work cut out for us with Coda, so we're looking forward to it. See you
All
see you
right.
later, Hector.
Everyone.
Thanks a
Thanks,
million.
everyone. Have a good
All right.
night.